Alright, boom. Live and direct. We're in the barbershop. Welcome back. It's Friday night. I'm the boy Big Ranger, aka Length and Strength. Got my co-host here.
Hey guys, it's Ben Frank here, Drake's #1 fan, armchair Scouse fan, short, who cares?
So nice, we had to bring him on twice. Hold tight, Kaly in the building.
Yeah, good to be back, guys, man. Last week was a good conversation, man. So yeah, man, happy to be back here.
Oh, definitely, you got a story to tell, man. Happy Friday. Welcome, man. How's everyone been? It's been a long week. Some big things have been happening. Social media has been going crazy.
Yeah, it's been a mad week for social media.
It has, man. It's been loose.
So obviously, big news this week. Meghan Markle, is it Merkel? Meghan Markle interview, ruffled a few feathers.
What's your take on that, though, bro?
Do you know what? When I first watched it, I was like, whoa, this is mad. Then obviously, you know me, I like to watch things twice, 3 times. By the 3rd time I watched it, I actually thought to myself, why do I even care? Like, do you know, I'm saying it in the sense that, like, our thoughts and our opinion, why people are getting proper angry by this?
Fam, but you know what it is? Because everyone's in their yard, it's lockdown. There's nothing much else going on. People are really concentrated on the socials, the news, like, what else are you doing, really? So everything is a bit more intensified, even that recent thing. We'll get to that. But yeah, I think that was a big point where everyone just wanted to throw their 2 pence in, especially with the Meghan Markle situation, because it always creates a divide, man. I feel like they push a narrative to create a divide, like, because some people are going to have the views of, Meghan Markle's done too much, she's brainwashed the prince, or some people are going to be like, nah, he's just seen the light. That's my opinion. I think he saw the light. You know what I mean? He saw the light at the end of the tunnel. He thought, rah, this is it's a bit much. And then she come in it, cause the race thing.
To be honest, Harry was always like that anyway, man. From young, like
he was his daughter's son.
Exactly. He was his mum. He was his mum's son. Yeah, so like.
Yeah, that was the one. He's his daughter's son. He's definitely his mum's son.
We knew what you meant, though. Don't worry, right? But yeah, but to be honest, like even watching all like from Harry back in the day, because my mum used to love like Princess Diana. I remember when she died, my mum and my grandma was distraught, bro. They was in the yard crying. I got back home. I'm even crying now because I think everybody's upset about something.
You can't disrespect Diana in an African household, bro. They all love her. No, she's loved everywhere.
I won't be blasphemous and say she's hiding, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't say them things about Diana there. So Harry was always held in high regard because he was more like his mum. He was always like I wouldn't even say cultural, but he was more of like the open-minded kind of one.
You see, obviously people are getting annoyed with what Piers Morgan said and that. But you see, my take on it, I don't actually think when I think back, I don't actually think he actually done anything too mad.
No, I wouldn't say he done anything too mad. But what it was, he was speaking on a personal bias. Yeah. He had a personal agenda. He wasn't sticking to what was in front of him. He was talking from an insider point of view because he had his own agenda. Imagine like you don't like me, and you see something that I've done, but you will not mention the fact that I've done it, but go all the way around the facts to say that it's not possible. Yeah. But it's in front of you. It's live. You can see it yourself. But he's just gone around the houses to make it out that what she's saying is sort of like a theory or a story, or he's voicing his opinion in a biased view. You can't be negative and trying to discuss it. Like some referees that are on Liverpool side, you know what I mean? They're always going to be like that.
Football talk. Shot time. Don't even play about.
While you're getting that ready, I don't even think he... You see, when I say he don't do anything wrong, Piers Morgan's like that, though. You've seen him sticking it on people, even if you haven't agreed with what he's saying. He sticks it on politicians. He does. Even if, like, my view, I don't really think politicians really got it wrong with COVID, but he's sticking it on them, saying, "Well, you." No, I don't think they've. I don't think they've done anything wrong.
Listen,
I do not think they've done anything wrong. What more could they have done to?
It was a very hard.
It was a hard thing. Do you know what I mean?
Very hard.
But listen, as I said, let's not talk about COVID, lad.
Yeah, let's not do COVID.
We're leaving it.
Achoo! Yeah, I'm joking.
Back onto the Piers Morgan. But as I said, some things he does say right, and yeah, I believe there is a freedom to speech in that sense. But bro, he was doing it from a biased point of view. So you can't speak on a subject like that with a biased point of view, because it's you're gonna get in your feelings regardless of how it seems, because you know why you're doing what you're doing. He only knows the reason why. Whether it be she ghosted him, whether it be whatever, he might have fancied her, like some of the media says. Like, who knows?
Remember, Piers Morgan's married, by the way.
What does that matter, bro? Oh, shit.
Do you actually think? Nah.
Right, Philip Schofield married. Well, let's not go into that.
Hey, but listen, for me personally, what I like most about that Piers Morgan situation is when them African women came on and absolutely ridiculed.
Dr. Shola.
Shola, big yourself up. Even second mum, maybe third mum or fourth mum, whatever, but still mumsy in that kind of way. You done a good thing, mate, because that boy was seeing red at that minute there and he couldn't handle it. You couldn't handle it. Yeah.
Dr. Alex. Yeah. See the weatherman. The weatherman is on stuff. Now the weatherman is on his job. That Alex brother, he's on his job. He's very opinionated.
Yeah.
Anyone, make him take pisses, please.
Do you know what though? Yeah, this is my. I hope people don't think anything he said was racist, because I feel like when they was going at him, I felt like it was more of because they thought he was racist. I don't think Piers Morgan said anything about the race thing.
No, he didn't.
He didn't. He was just about the mental health thing. Because if you think about it, the narrative that was being pushed out, they're getting black people to come and speak to him. Why is it just black people? Why not any? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what their point was is that how can you speak about racism from a privileged white background? It don't make any sense. But I totally understand what you're saying. Why does it have to be us? There could have been other people speaking, which many people could have, but obviously that's the way the news want to portray certain things, isn't it?
But will they share the same view as a black person?
They couldn't, because they're not in that position.
You see, even what Meghan said about, they said
questions about the race of her son.
Yeah, cool. Lots of people are saying, what did you expect? Yeah, but you know, there's black. Not my parents, but there's Africans. You take a white girl home, and do you know what I mean? It would be exactly the same thing. So,
and the thing is, there is white households, that would almost say that in jest. Like, not even say in jest, but it's just a question.
I'm not saying it's not racist.
I'm not saying this, because that, in a sense, is that systematic racism. That's what we're built to believe is normal. However, it is a question that would raise. Generally, like, if you're gonna be in a black household, it might be raised. Like, I wonder how light you reckon your youth's gonna be. Like, that is a question that will be amongst your peers, your family. Like, it's just a discussion. It's not that deep.
I don't think so. You know, I think that's a very odd question. If you know, if two people are having a child, for me personally, what does it matter what color the child is?
It doesn't matter.
You know, one person's black, one person's white or red, whichever it is. The fact is that they're having a child. The colour, what is it? We'll see when the child is born. It shouldn't be a concern like, what do you think the child's gonna like? What colour is the child's gonna be?
These lot are shielded.
What colour do you think the hair's gonna be? Is it gonna be curly or straight?
But wait, that is just a general conversation, though. Because
have you ever had that conversation?
Yeah.
Fair play.
No, I haven't. But
I've never had a conversation.
I have, not to say I have, but I have, because even like just in a Jamaican household, they look at the colour of their ears to see how, like, you can see how dark a baby's going to be through the colour of their ears. Yeah, like the melanin goes to their, like, the features there. So my nan will be right, you ain't going to be dark still. Like, you can see, you know what I mean? You can see through the ears. Like, if you have a yellow baby, like, it comes out yellow. Like, there's no racism involved. Like I said, I've got a white nan and all them things there. Like, it's not that deep. But you can tell by their ears. Like, you can see if they're going to be darker by the shade of their ears or their body features. You can just tell, innit? Like, so it's not a conversation, I think, can be derogatory, but where it's come from, because it's the royals, because it's all the Commonwealth, because it's highlighted in the media, that is why it's such now a race thing. Like, as I said, right now the world is hypersensitive, bro. Everything is before. Listen, if you watch comedy from back in the day to you watch comedy now, it is a completely different thing because it's so censored. There is not a freedom of speech of how it used to be. Look at things like The Real McCoy, for example. That's an old school program, but they very much play on like the black culture. Harry Enfield and Chums, for example. That is a really good comedy. I like Harry Enfield. He's a fucking banter. But if you put the flip reverse, that is all stereotypes and they use their stereotypes to make comedy. And back then it was just whatever, it was laughable. But now everyone's on social media. They can't say that. Yeah, that's transgender. That's bi-neutral. That's everything is gone nuts, bro. Like, the world's gone nuts, but we're going too far off topic. We're going. Let's bring it back into Piers Morgan and Meghan Markle. I don't think Meghan Markle's in the wrong. Basically, I just think she was pushed out. Like, I just think, of course, it's the royal family, bro. So when you think about it like that, they are not gonna allow that to happen, bro. Come on, we know it. Like, you gotta be an idiot. You gotta be an idiot to think there's gonna be a Black Prince one day. Like in the UK, are you mental, bro?
And that's why they said concerns, not conversations. So the concern was, if he comes out dark, we have to get. We have to do something. There's no way it's gonna happen. That's why it was more concerns rather than a conversation.
Yeah, and
do you understand?
And also the fact is that they didn't want to give him a title. That for me, that shows that there was a hidden agenda. Because how can they want to change a rule that was written in the rule books and all them sort of things, and they want to change it? They want to change it because they don't want to give Prince Archie a title. That is absolutely mental, bro.
Do you know what? I'm gonna be absolutely real. I proper don't care about this anymore. But I just hope it doesn't divide our friends. Do you know what I mean? Because
but I don't think how.
No, because I'll be real. You see, at the beginning of it, where I watched it for the first time, and obviously people were saying, why has she not mentioned the racist thing? And straight away my head was like, bro, why are you arguing about racism? But to be fair, I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I probably don't care about this. Just as long as it don't. Like,
it's just all the narrative. The same way that now this whole the thing about the police killing the woman now is overturned the whole media cycle. It's now changed from what it used to be. We're no longer hearing about the racist scandals of Meghan Markle. We're now hearing about men should be in their house at 6 p.m. Men should be like, what is going on? Obviously, I didn't really want to get onto this subject, but I'm going to have to because it's hot. It's going on right now. And to be fair, I put up a post today about Davina. She was like, what is going on? Why is everyone talking about abductions and like all the men and man need to be educating their sons? Like, she put it in real facts. Like, man will get the post up and put it in the fucking podcast if I have to. But, you know what I mean? Like, but it's gone nuts. Everyone is talking about lock up your... if men... Imagine, they were talking about on Loose Women today saying, if you see a girl walking alone on the road, we should respect her and cross the road.
I do get it, but
what?
I do get it, but they're going for no. Of course you think
that's
no,
too
but
much,
it's just
much of a scaremonger now. We're going too far. It's fear-mongering, yeah.
And as I said, the social media push a narrative to create these. Obviously, it may be a conversation. It may be just to create these conversations for us to discuss it. Who knows? But it may be just to change our minds and views. But that is bollocks. Because that's like saying, don't let your kids out to play because there's paedophiles snatching kids every day. Like, we could be on that exact same turn. And girls want to say it's sexual harassment. 97% of women have experienced sexual harassment. I get that, of course, because women report it a lot more than men do. And sometimes I agree that men are more physical in that sense, but we do get sexualized too.
I was about to say that. I've been sexually harassed many times.
Have you?
Many times. I had my bum slapped in the club, like, turn around the girls like,
That's sexual harassment. That's unwanted attention.
I'm like,
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Oh, look at his muscles, and they grab your muscle. Like, that's unwanted attention. If I wanted to go to the police every single time that happened, the men's percentage would probably be up there because we do get sexualized as well. And I'm not saying what happened to the girl is a bad thing. It is bad. Like, it is bad.
It's definitely bad.
But I think it was a whole, like, the situation, it was a Fed. Like, come on, like, what are you talking about men? That was a Fed, he abused his power. That was someone in power that abused it. Because if I was a normal citizen or someone in that, like, situation, and imagine girl Feds rolled up on you, flipped their bag, like, yeah, we'll drop you home, or they pulled up on you, they still have power. Like, we're still going to give in to them because it's female Feds. It's still a Fed regardless. Like, regardless, you know what I mean? And they could do whatever. Have all truncheon on your back, but they could be out there. They could be out there with your Oscar. You know what I mean? They could away, but they can violate you, put you in cuffs and truncheon off your body. No, but exactly, it's the same thing. Abusing your power, bro. Like, and I think, like, everyone, like, as I said, I put the post up and girls were messaging like, I don't agree, and they're just saying, oh yeah, girls get sexualized a lot, and yeah, like, it's the way that we dress. But sometimes I feel like, not to say that you bring it on, because I feel girls should be able to wear what they want and do with everything there. And I think definitely, like, it's not about what you wear and how you carry yourself, but things like that, it's just weirdo shit. Like, who can explain a weirdo trying to kidnap a girl? Like, that is unexplainable. That is not normal brain thinking. So don't be talking about educate your sons, because our sons are well educated and the kids are well educated to know what's right and what's wrong. What my man done was wrong, and what happened to my girl is not right. You know what I mean? So there's no talking about respecting females, because we do. Like, as men and everyone around you, if you got obviously some camps do it like where they got men in their team that are weirdos, but none of my brothers are predators. None of my girls are going to be holding on to a girl and she doesn't want to come with man. Because if I see that shit, then it's not happening. And I know that every one of my people around me are never going to let that shit happen.
That's what I said. I was speaking to one of my friends the other day, and I was like, I know a lot of men that if they saw something like that happen, or if they saw a girl being harassed or whatever, they will get involved. And I've seen it many times.
I've seen it many
Yeah,
times.
like people, like girls talking, generalizing men as a whole. I see what people are saying, but to me personally, because it's such a touchy situation, I just let it ride. Because
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
you know
say.
what I mean? You're in. Obviously, people be in their feelings. I'm in my feelings about it. When I saw it, I was like, I've got a daughter. Like, do you know what I mean? So I'm actually angry about the thing, but I understand what they're coming from because they go through it every day and they're scared. It's pretty much the same thing how us men or boys have to deal with drama that's on the road. Pretty similar. Like we have to go a certain place or whatever, thinking that something actually might happen.
Yeah, just because.
Like just because we're
just because
but you see,
but
just
you
because
see,
I'm
even
black
that-
or
but
whatever
you
the
see-
situation may be. So we've come from a similar kind of standpoint to what has happened.
Similar but different.
Of course, similar but different.
With what you just said though, I think the difference is with us, it's just certain areas we go to. With girls, it's everywhere they go to. They'll most.
Yeah.
most
No,
probably
but
feel like-
definitely. Don't get me wrong. If you go, let's say we go to like a festival in Birmingham, there is that possibility we're gonna bump into some guys that think they're
of
rude
course,
boys.
course.
Just like when we went to Birmingham that time and that mad thing happened right next to us. Obviously, it wasn't us. Like, do you know what I mean? God willing, but it could have been. Do you understand? So we still have to go through that day to day, and that's a daily thing. But obviously, their one is obviously they're coming from a point that they're vulnerable. Like they obviously believe they're vulnerable because they're powerful. They're not powerful enough, and they can't protect themselves. They come from that point that we are vulnerable. So do you know what I mean? But same as men. I think a lot of men are vulnerable as well.
Yeah,
To be
of
honest,
course. And I think to kind of round this thing up, we're not saying that. Obviously, what happened to the woman was sad, isn't it? Like,
It's not right regardless.
it's out to a family.
yeah,
as well.
exactly. So, yeah, man, I kind of get the area where girls are coming from now, but I'm not gonna say it's too much, but they're entitled to do what they want to do.
Of course, and girls, everyone's entitled to an opinion, but I think girls just slow down, stop letting it get to you. Obviously, yeah, it is serious, and to a lot of people, it did hit home, but it's not that deep, man. We are aware of what's going on, and we are respectful to women, and don't paint everyone with the same brush, because I think that's the narrative that they're pushing. All men are the same. We don't all sexualize girls. Like, just slow down anyway.
I think what they're asking for is there to be more to be done about it when it's not happening, so everybody's aware. But like you said, I believe that a lot of people, believe everybody in this room has been educated enough not to do something like that. So even though they're saying it, it's like we already know these things. Like what he done was disgusting. That he had mental health, definitely. For you to do something like that, you're actually not in a mental stable
it's
place.
just sick. It's
And
just-
it even got brought up that he was exposing himself 3 days before, but he didn't act on it. Like, but anyway, that was what's hot. Man, them I've been watching.
It was not hot, but it's cold. But
Yeah, but man, been watching this Bad Boy series. I know you bust me, Snowfall. If you ain't watched it, lock onto it because it is absolutely sick.
I like Franklin.
Yeah, but I like Franklin, and he's from England. Like the actor, Damson Idris?
Damson Idris.
Yeah, he's like 29 from the end. He's from Nam, doing his thing. I would suggest everyone watch it. You know why it's such a good program for me? It doesn't glorify that life. It doesn't glorify. It's not like he went and got rich and then started splashing on jewels and that. He was still wearing a Casio.
And that's why I said it's better than Power.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah, no, it is.
Now
UK based.
No, it's based in the States.
Los Angeles, like when the crack epidemic happened, before crack even happened. So basically, he got the plug, and then he got shown how to whip it, and then he whipped it into crack, and then saw what it done to the roads. Boom. Long story short is he saw the effects of crack firsthand, like
What, destroying your own people?
literally. That is exactly.
That
Destroyed
changing.
it. No, it didn't. It made him.
It didn't. It made him more hungry, but that is like it showed the inside workings of it because his people close to him started taking it, and he got snaked by his brother. Like it's a really good watch. Hold on. Oh yeah, we don't. Right, let's not ruin it. Yeah. What about no, Cal? What are you saying now?
Wait. I have to pause everyone. I'm sorry. You might as well pour my shot. In the last 2 weeks.
I'm about to get onto the Liverpool's demise. Don't you worry about
wait.
You're about
In the
to say
last 2 weeks.
Done out here. Done out here.
Champagne Poppy. Champagne Poppy.
Oh, is that what it is?
Released a free songed EP.
Go on.
Best. Them 3 songs are better than any songs I heard last year.
What's the best one?
Well, take a shot now, man. Please.
Nah, but I didn't say his name.
You are.
Lemon Pepper Freestyle with Rick
Banging.
Ross. Banging.
Yeah, Ross killed it, mate.
Yeah, Ross for me.
Ross
Ross's delivery is.
Ross made that tune.
Drake just
finessed
rapped
him.
for 4 minutes.
Yeah, and it was
No,
whack.
it was.
It was meaty for me. I wasn't really feeling it. Yeah,
No, it's Ross.
Going home.
Yeah, Ross, man. Come on.
I know, but listen, fucking hell, I can't wait for his album.
Do you know what you're like? You're like Piers Morgan for Drake.
No,
Anything
but
he does,
he's
right,
UK
like, how
ambassador.
Piers
no, but you see,
Morgan does the
no,
road.
but Piers Morgan don't back it up. I back it up with.
Nah, you're the UK ambassador. bro.
UK ambassador.
Nah, literally, UK ambassador.
I'm due to go and order some OVO merchandise.
Some of these wears kind of lit though. I can't lie to that.
But did you like you liked it?
Yeah, I liked it still. You know what I like Drake?
No, but you play it down too much. I don't. Just own it.
No, because I'm not a super fan, fam.
No, but I'm.
Own it.
I listen to I got everyone in rotation just as much as I got Drake in rotation.
Yeah,
I got Drake in rotation.
You got Drake in rotation.
Constantly.
Non-stop.
Hold on, what songs was I playing on the way? I didn't play Drake.
You got gassing, fam. I heard Lemon Pepper about twice when he was in the whip, fam. Don't start giving it the fucking big one. Give me a line. Give me what's one of the hot lines. Tell me what resonated with you.
On that Lemon Pepper.
No, I'm not going to talk about them. I'm going to talk about the second track on there.
What's that one? What now or something?
No, yeah, it's called Once and
He's
Need.
got it up on his phone already. Hey, viewers, you can't even see. He had it live there.
See Drake, the good thing about he does the subliminal thing, yeah. And you lot didn't even clock when he spoke about Kanye West, did you? No, you didn't. Go and listen to the song.
I didn't even listen to
Go
the
on,
song.
Go and listen to the song.
Break
No,
it
I'm not
down.
going to break down nothing.
Go on,
I want you to
superfan,
lot to go and
please.
listen.
Break it down, please. I want to know.
He says something along the lines of, I went to go, because obviously you know Kanye West does the whole there's nothing wrong with Jesus, but he does the church thing.
Yeah.
And
Sunday
he
service.
says he went to go and confess his sins, but Ye didn't want to hear it. He's basically talking about beating Kim.
Don't lie.
I promise. Oh, that's another thing I need to speak about.
What?
Kim and Kanye.
Oh, don't stop, bro, man. You like Kanye, innit? Kanye was your dog.
It's sad still. That's sad.
Well,
That's
he was
sad.
tapped, man. He was tapped. It was inevitable.
What? It's through wait. What's the vow? It's through
Sickness and
Sickness and health.
and through bad and worse times, and she couldn't hack it. What?
Yeah, because he went on to an interview and started talking about, I wanted to abort the baby. You can't do that, bro.
Oh, but he's got mental health issues. That's bipolar at the highest level. He probably couldn't help himself. True. Do you know what I mean? But big up Kanye West. Kim probably moving on to her fourth marriage. That's how it goes. That's how it goes for you ladies. Well,
So what you saying now, Kyle? What you been on?
Nothing, man. I was happy to be on our first level back to normality.
Yeah, no, literally, baby mother traffic. if he hit the roads at 3:30, it's peak now. Yeah, man, them missed them hours because there's rage out here.
Yeah, man. It's good. Yeah, working kind of back to usual. Everything like back.
Oh,
in
you
the
back to
schools
work
now?
now? Are you back to work now?
Yeah. Back in the schools. Yeah, today was my first day, to be honest. Had a couple meetings yesterday, but yeah, today was my first day. It felt nice.
felt nice.
Yeah, the kids them glad to see me, mate. Back to normal because the phone and virtual stuff. This wasn't.
Is that the first time they seen a new trimmer or did they see it before?
No, they see it before. The team's always been there. Yeah, I mean, they say, "Right, your hair's longer now, sir." Yeah.
No, that's what I was about to ask you. What do they call you?
It's
Michael,
called
sir?
sir. Yeah, but
Is it?
Yeah. It's
If
funny
I was a teacher,
sometimes.
I'll make them call me. I'll make them call me. No, I was gonna say the D word, but I don't want to say. I don't want to say because I don't want to do a shot.
Yeah, we won't go there.
Like that sounded wrong. No, I was gonna
but,
say Drake. I was gonna say
no,
I'll make them
don't,
call me
don't.
Drake.
You're an idiot. Make them call me Drake. He's a weirdo, man. What's wrong with this fella?
Hey, leave me alone.
But to be honest, yeah, it's good, man. It's good to be back, man. Hearing how they're kind of. Obviously, I always talk to them about how they was handling lockdown, but now to hear it for them like face to face, because they always open up when they're face to face. Because you can imagine them doing homeschooling and like virtual.
Yeah, that's
then
mad.
having me on the phone after virtual. They don't want to talk. I don't even want to talk on the phone. I hate on
Yeah,
the
use
phone.
this fella.
I
Yeah.
don't like talking on the phone as it is. So obviously, when we're together, that's when they open up more and they're more natural and it's all organic, isn't it? So
Yeah, of course.
those some of them are just jokers.
I'm
man.
happy
Like,
for you, man. I'm happy for you to be back at work, man.
Yeah.
What was
but-
it? Because you were doing the trading thing for a bit as well, innit?
What, trading? Yeah, I still do trading.
What? Is it like a learning process?
What, of trading?
Yeah, is
of
it?
course it is, but it's like anything you get into, whatever profession it is or hobby, you have to learn of it. You have to learn about it to be a professional or to be good as you want to be. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of people think, and you know, because there's so many people. Like not exposing trading, but like telling people,
yeah.
So
Sign
people,
up to me.
so
Be a trader.
So people naturally think, oh, this is a quick.
Yeah, when you tried to tell me, I weren't trying to hear
Yeah,
it.
do you know what I mean? But the stuff is really going on. Like I'm on live calls with like people who are throwing like about 30k in a trade, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, boom, out the market again. Nearly doubled up.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts.
And these are millionaires, obviously, and what they allow you to do, some organisations allow you to follow, well, obviously the ones that I'm with, they allow you to follow their trade, so you can just do exactly the same trade they're doing, because we're all online on the, what's it called, on a Zoom call. So he's got his screen, sharing his screen, whatever things he's putting in, we can put in. Obviously some of them hit and miss and whatever, but that's just like anything. Any investment you do.
When I look at trading, I just find it's like a legalised gambling.
It's not
legalised gambling, but it's just another form of gambling, really. Because
it's not gambling.
It's not simple. No, but you're basically betting your money on stuff. Yeah, but you can get tips on gambling as well.
Yeah, but that's not anything.
If I was going to do it, I'd rather just spin it.
Yeah, but
I'd rather spin it.
Yeah, don't get it sucked in there.
Yeah, no, I'm joking now.
Like I do property investing as well, but it's the same thing. You analyze how you're going to make the money, where the returns are going to come from, how much yield you're going to make on a property. Some of them don't go to plan. Market can go up and down. Same thing. It's all investment, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
Nothing is guaranteed.
Take your risk.
You can make a business and put all the numbers up, and things don't work. You make a food shop, customers don't come. Now they like vegan food, and you got a chicken shop.
Fact. Same way you can take a risk on a brick by picking. You can take losses. You know what I mean?
100%.
Things just happen. You have to be able to take that risk to be able to prosper. So definitely. Yeah. But yeah, man, life is good. Other than that, man, life's alright, man. Hold tight the last episode, people that been over talking. Ain't that deep. I weren't saying I'm not that bougie. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that deep, man. Just slow down. Everyone's getting on to me like, is that how you feel, Range? What, you're not gonna promote my product because it's meaty.
Oh, see, a
lot
of people was upset about that.
Yeah, I know, fam. But
last one, you know.
Yeah, I'm telling you, but that's just how life goes. That's just the way life is, right? And as I said, like, boom, yeah, I weren't being horrible in that sense where I don't promote meaty products. I'm just saying, just make sure your shit's tight, and I expect that from my people around me. If you want me to promote your shit, make sure your shit's tight, B.
Alright, we're gonna go to an ad break now. Before we do that, I want to shout out my boy Tommy. Bought us the shot glasses. It says Ben Frank, Barbershop Chronicles.
Boy Range, Barbershop Chronicles. Big up yourself every time.
Cheers, pal.
Cheers, pal. Make sure you do the whole thing as well. You're a fucking prick, that's what I mean. Back into the episode, y'all. Welcome back. Yeah, Kaly, the barbershop, man. Happy Friday to you all, man. Grab a bevy, sit down in front of you. I hope you're sitting in your front room. If you burn the special thing, then sit down and burn a special one, because this is about to get heavy. As I said, we got our brother in the building. Got a serious story, and for those that don't know, you get me, Benny?
Do you know what? I want to kick off this first bit. Obviously, we call you Kaly, and most people that know you call you Kaly. Obviously, you had the name before. Mm-hmm. Now, I want you to tell us what that name was, and whilst you do that, I want you to describe that person.
Fleas.
Okay.
But you know it's a different character.
That's why I want you to describe that person. So for anyone that don't know, describe who Fleas is.
To be honest, same character, different mindset. That's what I can basically say.
So from the outside, say I didn't know you and they said, so who's this guy Fleas? How would you describe him?
I'll say uneducated. And not as in not academically, just in a way that I was misled by certain things that I saw, misled by certain things I was taught. And to be honest, not necessarily from inside of the household, because I come from a very good family. I come from an African family. My mum and dad's Ghanaian, so inside it was a very humble and respectful household. But from growing up when I was young, because obviously I'm from Mitcham, and I'm from like the heart of Mitcham, like, you know, like where I was from is like the backyard. And at that time, there was a lot of stuff going on, especially in the flats where I was brought up. A lot of drug dealing going on, a lot of violent crimes going on. And obviously, I was there as a young person being brought up in that situation, even though, like I said, the household was good. That environment wasn't good.
Yeah, that's the ends for you.
A lot of the time, when you're growing up as a young person, you're very naive to things and very vulnerable. So, like I said, to be honest, even when I think about it, because my drive at that time when I was growing up was money. And not like physical money, but what I saw people having, I wanted. So I was seeing a lot of like people coming on bikes, cars. Like, I'm talking about the older lot, not my lot. So I'm talking like from the age of like 10 upwards, like when I could actually understand these kind of things. And what happened was I knew that my parents were in a financial position to assist me with anything that I wanted, really, because it was unnecessary. Like I wanted stuff that these older people had that this cost money that didn't make any sense. So I'm seeing things and I'll be like, oh, I want a bike. I'm seeing Peds, like convoy of Peds roll up, and I'm thinking, oh, do you want a Ped? And I'm like about 12 years old. How the hell am I going to get a Ped? I need to wait my turn. But at that time there, I wasn't willing to wait. Or if I'm seeing a guy with his, remember them days there was Aquamasters and all them kind of things there. Yeah, all them kind of things in the latest 110s and 120s and so forth. So me personally,
Shambhala bracelet.
Exactly. Oh, you remember Shambalas? Hey, that was a big thing.
Well, don't forget you niggas. I know you was rocking those motherfuckers. No, man.
Yeah, so like exactly like them things there, especially like Shambalas. Like when that came out, everybody was hounding to go get it.
Proper thing as well.
You know what I mean? And I know I can't go to mum and say, Mum, give me some money to buy Shambhala.
Shambhala.
What Shambhala? What?
What is
like,
that?
You know Shambhala? What
is that?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I know. Like she worked very hard. Like she came over here in the 80s from Ghana. Obviously had to do
and it's not just you.
Yeah, of course.
You've got siblings.
I've got siblings. I've got an older brother and older sister. So there's people like that need. Obviously, the whole family need to be catered for. So my needs, they're not important. Like, do you know what I mean? My brother was also in the same position. He was very similar to me. He wanted nice stuff and so forth. So we knew that we couldn't go to Mumsy and ask for some ridiculous money for what reason.
Before we get there, there was no Pops about.
Pops was there.
Pops was there.
Yeah, Pops was there. But to be honest, my mum was like the main breadwinner because she was just very smart and she had a skill. She was a caterer. So even when she came in, she started working in like Epsom Downs, at the race course, in Canary Wharf. She worked on the Orient Express. Like she was doing like proper big stuff. Like so, she was getting paid good. Do you know what I mean? And she's pretty much like how you see me, you know. Like if you ever meet my mum, if any of the man then like knew my mum, they'll say yeah, like she's like a stand-up woman. Like she's like if you meet her, she's just cool. Like, do you know what I mean? So she kind of integrated into England quickly. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I think she got all them jobs there. But we just knew at that time we couldn't ask for silly stuff. Do you know what I mean? But to be honest, we wasn't. How can I say it? We wasn't in a bad position of money because if you came to my house was a nice house. Like my dad was very savvy. Like he was a jazz man. Like he listened to like jazz and we had the Bang & Olufsen speakers. Like all this gadget stuff that we didn't even understand.
Is that where your eclectic music?
It probably did, without even knowing.
If you follow Kaly on Insta, you'll see him playing some random shit on these posts. You're like, what the fuck is this?
Proper random, you know.
What is he listening to? You know what I mean? Is that where?
Yeah, because you know, it is when I take my mum's song and I play it, she just sings along with me. So she knows all them songs.
So obviously you've had that taste for music. So obviously when you was Fleas, was you still listening to this kind of music?
You know, it's funny, yeah, because it's like with the drill scene now. Like I'll be dead honest, and I know everybody would agree. When we was growing up, we was listening to stuff like Spice Girls. Like Spice Girls was going off, and man was listening to Spice Girls. Spice Girls was going off back in the day. I don't care.
No, it's 100% going off.
100%. S Club 7.
S Club Juniors.
S Club 7. Are you taking a liberty?
No, but you know what it is?
Don't try that.
No, but wait for a minute. Let me
Wait, do you know about S Club Juniors?
No, I don't know about juniors. I know about the proper thing, 7, bro. I know about the real talk. Bradley and that. I was that Bradley was giving it some. Bradley used to give it something. You know when? Because he was the dark. You know what? He was. Bro, he was a dark person, so he had to give it some. He had to prove his point. Big up Bradley every time. But anyway, yeah, man used to. At the time, man would never say that they would listen to it, but man was listening to it.
What? But see me, I was a stand-up guy. Like before I even got into everything, I was very much like I used to dance in front of the family. My grandma was the one. She'd be like, Michael, dance.
Yeah,
quick £5 in front.
And that's very similar. That's very similar to my background.
This was before I even got into Fleas. I was listening to them kind of music there.
When you were still Michael. When you were still young Michael. That was our era. Bond and that.
Exactly. That was just the normal music that was happening. There weren't no rap music unless you was going to the States and listening to people like Tupac and Nas. But apart from that, you listen to stuff that was coming from the UK, which was pop music.
Jamiroquai.
All of that. Jamiroquai is my guy. Simply Red, all of that stuff there. So that's the music I still listen to. I don't listen to Spice Girls now, but I listen to stuff that resonates to me now, which is Jamiroquai, Simply Red. Big up the ginger man, you done know. Big up my ginger brothers.
Hold out the ginger brother in the crowd.
Yeah, so like I'm saying, at that moment of time, that's the stuff I was listening to. But even when I started to transition into more of like the gap, because that's the time when the Gary scene come out, and obviously that's what we got into. So we would go to like my brethren's house, big up drill, do some sets at his house, and we was making music. But even before I even got into all of this like criminality and stuff, it wasn't even about violence. There was nothing really about violence. Like Mitcham wasn't a violent place. It's not like your Brixtons and Peckers, which is.
I was MCing.
It was MCs. We was artists. Was graffiti artists.
Yeah, graphing, rapping. Everyone was either graphing or MCing them days.
Exactly.
Literally, that's what it was.
And that's what it was.
So where did the change come? Do you think? Like obviously, fast forward to Rutledge.
Mm-hmm.
I remember what was it? Year 7 or 8.
Yes, probably 8.
And there was nothing. It was still kind of everyone was still friendly. And then where did the change come? So at what age did you hit and you thought, cool?
To be honest, like even my mum will say, like he was always like a ruffian, even though he was very nice and respectful to the elders and so forth. He was always rough.
Yeah, it's true.
So even when we went to what's it called, Gorringe. Same thing. I'll be fighting all the time.
Remember,
in school, I was
as I
good.
said, brother, listen, my man used to have the annual fight of the year.
Annual fight,
The two strongest. You know when you have the rumours go around, yeah, who's the strongest in the year? My man's name would be up there with some other you. Every single year.
And in Rutledge as well.
Turn up at somebody's school.
They'll always have the annual scuff, bro. Like you know, it's inevitable. Every year there'll be the annual scuff.
Every year, at the end of the year as
End
well.
of the year, just before they transition to the next one, just to solidify, I was the strongest around town. You know what I mean? Every year, but obviously, like he plays it down. Even
But that's what I'm trying to say. But you would never expect that now. But this is why we want you to tell that character.
No, 100%. But like I said, I don't think it was ever a transition. I think that was always in me to be kind of rough. Even though I wasn't like a guy I'll go out and punch somebody up on road. I was just a very much like, I don't know if it was more to show your dominance or whatever it is. I've still not discovered what it was for back then. But like I was always like that. Me and my brother used to fight all the time. Like when we was young, I was always like a fighter. I was always a ruffian. Do you know what I mean? And I always used to watch mangas and think I was like a ninja. Like even till now, like I try practicing on someone. What, you want a little kick? Like, you know what I mean? You feel like I can't kick your head. But but that's what it was. I had an uncle and he was very rough. My uncle was rough. My big cousin was rough. He'd come in the yard and punch us up. So it was like a thing like toughen up. So I think that's where the kind of mindset come that you have to be tough. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think that's where it kind of come from. But when I got into Rutledge, I think that's when it all kind of changed. Yeah, it all escalated into a deep way.
Because you met people with the same mentality as you.
Yeah, same mentality, proper higher energy, and it was all kind of around dominance and And to be honest, at that stage there, I think that's when my dad left the house. So I think I had a bit more freedom where my mum was working and she was a hard worker, so she never stopped working. So we had free time to do whatever we wanted to do.
That's what I'm saying. See that time of when you get home from school to sort of like bedtime. See that in between time is very important. People don't realize it, but that's very key because that could either be you're in your house studying because someone's at home, so they know that you finished school now, so you got to be in, or nobody's there, so you can you have the freedom to go and explore.
Exactly the same. I had both parents. I was still getting up to whatever.
It could have been, but I think what it was the freedom for me. Because obviously my mum worked late hours, obviously contribute to the house.
Late, they have to clean up afterwards as well.
Everything, and then she'll come home at a certain time. We'll know what time she comes home, and we'll just play it to that. So if you come home at 7 o'clock, I'll finish school at 3 o'clock. I've got a whole 4 hours before you come home. I'm getting out to all sorts of madness.
Especially where you're especially with the way you're around, your environment, you're a product of your environment, and that is very key in the situation because you can be drawn to things that you weren't even aware of before. Because it's true, I think if you grow up in a different place, maybe you've been a different person.
100%.
100%, and I think that contributes to obviously everybody has the hidden. You're always going to be naughty, wherever you go, you know what I mean? So it just takes the wrong place to be able to sort of draw it out of you. And I think Mitcham was definitely the place at that time.
But the thing was, I think it was, because when I went into Rutledge, obviously my older brother...
Big up Keflar.
Yeah, my older brother was, obviously, he was already there for 2-3 years. So as soon as I went in there, it was like, yo, you're my man's brother. You're in there. So I was already with the older lot. All the time I was mingling with the older lot. Even from when I was in Mitcham, I was always with the older lot. It was only until maybe a certain time that I started chilling with people actually my age. But before that, I was chilling around with my brother's friends and all that kind of thing there. I was like the little homie, if you know what I mean. But I think through hanging around with these older people, I was exposed to so much that I wasn't even ready for.
So basically you was late. Your mindset was years ahead of the people that you're.
I wouldn't even say years ahead, but it was just what I was exposed to.
You were more streetwise than everyone else.
I wouldn't even say streetwise because I wasn't streetwise, because if I was, I wouldn't have done half the stuff I've done. And luckily, I didn't get myself caught up in. I did get myself caught up in a lot of madnesses, but luckily I wasn't caught for them. So I could have had a downfall like some of my friends did. in a certain way. But
Right, we'll get there.
we'll get to that point there. But I think because I was hanging around with the older lot, whatever they was doing, I wanted to do. So if I see you selling drugs and making money from it, and I know I can't get money from another means, I'm gonna instantly fall into that pattern and be like, oh, what's going on? So I knew that I can't go to Mumsy now and say, Mum, like, I need some money, like, Of course not. Even so, I'm even scared to go and ask Mumsy for the money because I just know how she is and I know she works hard. At the time, you don't know as young people how hard they are, what you're paying for the house. We all think that it's just normal. You've got a house here, it's not even being paid for.
Yeah, it's not
Do you understand? But we weren't explaining these things. So automatically, I'm not going to come to you and ask you, I just know this. So who do I go and ask? I go and ask the people I see getting it. And they obviously know that, okay, this boy's a bit savvy. Like, all right, what, you want to get into this? You want to get into this role? Okay.
So, no, but obviously, and then boom, so, alright, forget rubbish. Like, schools, obviously, you get initiated into life. That's when shit...
You can't, because that's where your whole group, that's where your group, I'm not going to call it gang, we'll say group of friends.
That's
where it came from.
Yeah, obviously, you build a relationship.
The high school's where the changeover comes, though. Is that you either go in one direction or you go in the other. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, that's Rutledge, the school we went to.
Yeah.
It was very much more...
Rutledge is a boys' school, though, by the way, as well, isn't it? Exactly that. That's why, you know why? Because it's high testosterone. See, man like me, I went to a mixed school. It's different because you got a girl in the building. You know what I mean? When there's bare testosterone in the building, everything's just going off. Everybody's just trying to be dominant because it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't put all male lines in the same, but there can be fights all the time.
I think everybody, no matter where you come from, like what background you come from, you all learned something from that school because you was around certain people. It was like multicultural. There's families people that come from families with a lot of money. There's people from families that come from nothing. But everybody was kind of integrated with each other. But like I said, like for me personally, the first time I see somebody get stabbed was in that school. Yeah. Not in the school, but after school something happened, like in Wimbledon, and I see somebody get stabbed. Like, and that's the first time I was like what, year 8, year 9 in times there. So you could imagine that was like, it kind of became in my mind like something that was normal. I think from that school, it's like you learned something, but it weren't a good type of learning. It more became just a normal way of living, if you know what I mean. But even from leaving that school, because even like when I was in that school, I think that's when the whole gang stuff started happening. Because not even to say that it was like more of like a criminal mindset, like yeah, we're gonna build a gang to go and like fight other people. It wasn't really like that, because when I think about how my gang was built, and if you don't know, my gang was called the Terror Zone.
Jeez, son.
Like the Terror Zone. So
yeah, gotta get them there.
you know what I mean? And how this gang was built was actually formed from the fact that there was racism in the area. Yes. Like Mitcham was very racist.
It was. Remember that? See that little blue thing that's by if you know the end, you know the ends, but yeah, it was very racist.
It's very racist. I think it came more of a point of protecting ourselves. Because we was a young group full of like ethnic people.
So you're saying that the gang was created to protect yourself from the racists first?
Mainly, yeah, it was. And for me, I wasn't even like that. I was always really rowdy and stuff, but I wasn't a troublemaker. Yeah. Do you understand? I can handle myself and I can handle situations, but I wouldn't I had friends like that. We ain't gonna mention no names, but they were direct troublemakers. Yeah. And what happens is because of the loyalty and all them kind of things there, you directly back your friend. So from me saying that, that's how there was a big drama which sparked the whole area of Mitcham, and it's a historical drama which even lasts till now. And that I'm not going to mention no names, because I don't think it's necessary. But through Mitcham and another part of the town in South London, but even from that, it was because it wasn't directly because of something, but it was because of the respect and loyalty for someone that we thought that we had to get involved for. Yeah. Even though now knowing it,
and the situation got taken too far.
It got taken way too far, like way too far to another level.
Would you regret it? But do you regret it? Like, do you regret the situation? Like, do you regret
it? Of course, because everybody lost. Yeah. Everybody lost. Who gained anything from it? Somebody lost a life. People lost a friend. Like, facts, so who won? And whoever does win in them kind of situations, nobody ever wins.
Do you feel like now there's no going back now?
Yeah, of course there is, because you know what it is, I was thinking to myself the other day, like, really and truthfully, because I believe that we've come a long time. That was when I was like 16. Yeah. Like, knowing that there was a fatality.
Well, you're 42 now.
Yeah, but knowing what I know now, yeah, of course, if you can change some things, you will change it because it didn't benefit anybody. Like nobody can say that it was a good thing. At that time there was nobody that thought that yes, we're gonna brag about it. Like how the new generation brags about it. It wasn't a bragging about it thing.
No glorifying.
It was no glorifying. The thing happened.
It was an eye opener for a lot.
It was an eye opener, of course it was. And the thing is,
I think, sorry to cut you, but I think that was a substantial time in life. Like as much as people don't want to play it down, like, but that changed, I think, a lot of areas.
The whole dynamic.
But before that stage, there was very much a heightened tension. Like people were getting rushed left, right, and centre. You might hear about a Russian, like that was very much the street culture. But to hear someone got killed, I think that was a very big, like it was a big generational change, and I think that's what made things get a bit serious on both parts. And we're not going to play down either side because we're not here to do that. But it's just things change everywhere.
Of course,
Dramatically, everywhere. Clap, bang, into a break. Hey, before we get there, the good's life. No, big up my brother. Hey, look at the thing, it's proper. Come on, man.
The good's life.
Good's life thing. Like, holler at the thing.
Grind now, greatness later. I might stick this on my car.
No, 100%. No, that's real talk though.
Big t-shirts as well.
Grind now, greatness later.
Guys, follow them on Instagram. It's the
10,000 hours. If you know about the rules,
Instagram
10,000
is
hours.
here.
This is the meaning. Right now, greatness later.
And
baby.
here. The good's life. Big t-shirts.
Big up, guys. Don't forget the 5 a.m. creatives. Back to the zones.
Please make it pop up there.
of course, and the thing is, at that time there, I was, I might have been like about 16 or 17 or whatever it was. But at that time there, I conceived my first child. And at that time there, my child was like about maybe, I was 17 at that time anyway, but my child was about to be born. So all the stresses of all of that and this, it was like a big thing on me. So that was a proper eye opener. When that thing happened, my daughter was born 5 days later. So for me personally, it was definitely an eye opener, especially when my daughter was born and I saw her being born, like, you know, and I held her and I was like, this is actually crazy. Like, it's actually really,
this is different now.
Yeah.
Life's different now.
Exactly. And then what happened was after that, of course, like I calmed down. I wasn't on the road as much because obviously I've got responsibility now and so forth. And like obviously as years went by.
Hold on, wait. Before we get, is that when you changed your name to Kaly?
Yeah, it was actually indeed. Yeah, because I think at that time there I was searching for a purpose in life.
So was the name change like to de-associate yourself from your former life? Was that for you? Was that your reawakening? Was that almost like your rebirth? Like you just shed your skin. Like was it like I've done it now? Like you almost took off your vest now and said, boom, this is it now. Like was like Kaly almost like you still wanted to clench, not to say clench on, but still have 1 foot in, but 1 foot out. Was that almost your 1 foot out, maybe making that change?
What happened was I was searching for a purpose in life, so I started to practice Islam. So what happened was I converted to Islam, and they gave me the name Kaly. So that's where Kaly came from, because it's a shortened version of Kaly. So that's where the name came from. Obviously, I would like to think that my mindset I wanted to change, but my actions were totally different. I was still around certain things, and what happened was that obviously when you have a child, you feel some sort of like I wouldn't say like it's some sort of like, obviously you've got the responsibility, but there's also pressure. So when you haven't got the pressure, say the grandma's looking after the child, you'll go and meet your friends again to feel normal again, if you know what I mean. So I'm still going around the same activity. It's not like it changed straight away. I'm still doing certain things.
You're still involved with
certain actions and so forth. But what the main change was for me is that when my daughter was 4, her mum decided, because me and her mum broke up, like I went my separate way, she went a separate way, obviously was co-parenting, but the mum decided she had enough. So she went her way. I'm talking about went her way, like left the child and was like, I can't do it no more, I'm done.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, can we just please have a round of applause for my brother?
No, please, no.
See,
you're taking a liberty.
No,
it's not even liberty.
Bro, it's not even a liberty, but I think like see that time there, like men were very much scrutinised as being washed up baby dads, like,
and they still are.
And some people still have that. So for you to be on the opposite end of that spectrum and you being that baby dad, like that's nuts, bro. especially the age and especially that transition. That is a lot, bro.
But if you think about back that time, you were still expected to be
the
the same person you was.
Yeah, of course. But you know the thing is, I was talking to someone the other day and they said the same thing. Congratulations, whatever. There's a lot of people that wouldn't do it, but I was like, the thing is, they're not being pushed in that situation.
Yeah.
You have got someone, like if you had your little brother and your mum and dad died, are you going to look after your little brother? Of course you are.
Yeah, it's nature.
So don't think I've done anything special. I didn't do anything special at all. The girl that's done something wrong. That's the difference. I wouldn't do anything different. Like there was no, I'm not gonna build a bond with my brother or whatever, and like all my kids, and see something happen where you're in a vulnerable position now, and something like you can be taken away, and I wouldn't step in and do something. What? Like, come on now. I didn't do anything special.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So when people do say that, yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but a lot of time men are not pushed into that position. A lot of women are. You've got a lot of single parents. I've not done anything different than single women have done. Do you understand? So for me personally, that's where the transition come. Cause I was like, you know what, this is deep now. The girls with me 24/7. At the time, my mum was in Ghana. My mum, little sister, and everything. So full on by myself, bro. And
How was that,
income's not coming in. Cause obviously I can't be on the road anymore. So there's sometimes I was in the yard, but I'm struggling. I'm stressing, but I know I cannot do anything.
So like that, see that transition from taking a step completely out the road. Like, how did you find it? And so much like, how did your friends take it? Like, because you know, like.
Yeah, because a lot of people kind of looked up to you in the sense that who you was. Do you know what I mean? So,
but the thing
obviously, some people would understand. Yeah, you're doing your dad thing, but you know deep down.
The thing is, the same way they looked up to me, I was still the same person. Nothing changed. It's my responsibilities changed. So the thing is, maybe there was talks behind the scene but you know that time, no one, even till now, you ain't gonna say much. Whispers, you know what I mean? But I can respect that, like, cause really and truthfully, we know, innit? Like, but the thing is, it doesn't even matter what you think. My responsibility is way more greater than what you saw. All that stuff, not even if you said it to my face, it wouldn't even mean nothing because you don't even know what my life is looking like. Of course not. If it was disrespectful, then obviously even till now I'll take disrespectful as disrespect. Like, 100%. Do you understand that nothing changes in morals and understanding, and do you know what I mean? All that stuff stays the same. So like I said, I've changed in my mindset and my responsibilities, but the same me is the same me. So if you give me disrespect, I'll give you disrespect. But sometimes obviously I think it's even worth the disrespect now. So sometimes I think, you know what, whatever, man. Like, it's even worth it. Like me, I know how situations can go. Like, energy is very real. So if you give me energy and I take it to the next level, you want to take it there, and we're just growing on energy and it goes left. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I know the responsibility. So sometimes I'll be like, you know what, this whatever. You don't even mean anything. Do I wake up every day and think about you? No. Did you ever come into my peripheral when I was thinking about my life and how I want stuff to go? No. So what do you actually mean? Like, do you remember when all this happened? You remember, because I'm I love fashion. I've loved fashion from early doors. I love fashion, so even when I was in Rutledge and I was making my gold colours in Wimbledon and this go crazy, big up Zach. Yeah, you know what I mean? Zach was the guy, he bust us and he knew, like, when we come in there, we've come to spend cash, hella discount and all that kind of stuff there. But I was always a dresser. So even when I started dressing certain ways, people are looking like, what's going on? Obviously at the time it was quite hoodies, it was quite hood still. Yeah. But I've come with a different approach. But you're still not going to. I remember the first picture. Then went left. No, of course not.
I remember that first picture when I clocked that when you had the cakes, the fairy cakes, and you were smiling.
That was 21. Yeah, shirt, shoes, moccasins, bro. This is it. I was raised around that life. Cause even if I look at my dad and stuff and like how he was and my uncles, and when we used to go certain places, they always used to dress man up. You know how it is in Ghanaian backgrounds. You're gonna if you're going to a thing, dress up, innit? You ain't coming in no nonsense. You ain't coming in no nonsense outfits. So I've always been quite
flary. Like you're outlandish. Like you take, bro. I can't lie. I've seen my man in some sandals and some blouses. Like
blouse.
Huh? See this? No, that's what maybe a blouse.
Whoa. A blouse.
Bro, it's a see-through shirt.
It wasn't a see-through shirt. It was a mesh.
You got a black see-through shirt.
Mesh.
It's mesh.
What?
That's see-through, brother.
It's not see-through.
That's a motherfucking blouse. That's a motherfucking
You see what?
That's a motherfucking blouse.
You see what? Yeah. See me. You see what I say about fashion. See where I get my fashion from. Like even if you go back in the day, the mafia were wearing stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they talk to the mafia.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm different. Where of course, like you said, was I upset that I would come out there and feel comfortable.
Yeah, no.
Like
exactly.
the minute you start feeling uncomfortable, you've got a problem. You can't just do it well.
exactly.
No one can't take me out of my. No one can't make me feel uncomfortable. Like it's impossible. You may feel that way, but certain times you even looking at me thinking, "Raw, I wish I can even pull that off." And certain men even come to me and say it. Certain men are like, "Raw, like, hey, that outfit's mad, but I can't even pull that off." But yeah, like, but that's just how it is. You wish you could pull it off, like, but the mindset has to come with it. Because if you're uncomfortable, you can't pull it off.
Yeah, you can't. 100%.
Do you understand?
I think, yeah, that's swell. I can't lie. You pull it off. Everyone that gets onto the boots. Can we get an update about the boot? Are they still alive? No. You know, if anybody's been raving, everyone knows about Kaly. If you've been raving, everyone knows about Kaly's boots.
With the cape.
And the cape. Are they still alive? Are the boots still alive? We just need to know. Are the boots still alive? Are they dead?
See them boots? They are a symbol of warfare.
It's a what? I need to see them.
Them boots are a symbol of warfare.
They
were called the demise boots. They was actually a war. It's like they was manufactured around war, bro. Like you know me, I've got my different characters. I can come as a Japanese geezer one time in like some long stuff. I come as an army veteran. I come as a bloody chimney sweep. I do whatever, man. I just love fashion. That's just me personally. So for me personally, it's like see the position that I'm in and the places that I go. It's not going to the hood. So I don't see people in the hood and have to be around people that will look at that and think, bro, why is my man dressing like that? I'm not around people like that. When I go out, they're like, bro, like, it's a nice savvy little boy, isn't it? It's a bit different, but that's not even what I do it for. I do it because I actually like it.
Yeah. No, but obviously, like, see the criticism that comes with that. Obviously, coming where we're from, like, people see that as, what, my man's changed. Like,
I have changed.
Exactly, and we didn't work this hard to be the same.
Yeah.
And that was never the plan, so I understand it. But for some people that don't get it, because some people are still slow, some people don't understand like the growth mindset. Like, so for you, how do you deal with that? Because I know it's just like people be like, "Oh, Kaly's not really about that no more."
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm not about it anymore.
Exactly.
I don't want to be about it. Like, see me, it's so funny because if you want to say it, come and say it, and I'll simply tell I'm not even on it. Like, people ask, I know you'll get on the topic, like, okay, all the problems that went on back in the day, like you said, would you settle it? Of course I would. Yes. Like, you know, I see a question the other day, like there was like two scenarios. Like, what would you choose if it was 50 million and you can jump into you was like 50 years old, or if you knew the same knowledge you knew now and would go back? I would choose going back but knowing the same knowledge, because half of the stuff I would have done, I would have never have done. Yeah. And I can still be in a position because my time is priceless. Yeah. The money doesn't halfly mean anything to me. I can always make money, I can't get my time back. Yeah, but for a lot of people who missed out time, like my good personal friend, he lost a lot of time. 100%. Certain people lost a lot of time. They didn't get to see their kids grow up. Even whatever happened to me with my daughter's mum and so forth, you put me in a blessed position where I got to see my kids grow every day. They have got a relationship with me that they can never forget that. Yeah. Where certain people know, like, and the thing is with certain situations, there's always trauma built around it. So somebody's dad not being there for however many years, knowing that the person's in prison, how do you know how that affects the kid? Yeah. Like, for me, my daughter knows that I've always been there. Like, good or for worse, like, I banter with you sometimes, you'll get in trouble sometimes, but you always know I was here. Like, do you know what I mean? I'll be the first person she comes to when there's something going on. Like, me and her are like as close. Like, the stuff that I didn't get to do with my parents because we was very different, because my parents come from Africa. They didn't have a clue what was going on out here. Yeah. So when they're sending me out and saying, go hang with your cousin, my cousin is the one that's doing all the madness, that's showing me all this stuff. But you're happy with that because you ain't got a clue what's going on. Whereas in me, and you never had time to sit down and talk to me because I'll come in the house. Yes, mum, no, mum, in my room. Sneak in the room. And because there's 3 kids there, I can blend in. I ain't trying to make too much time. We ain't got a relationship. Even though I know like she loved me and so forth and whatever, and I loved her, but I didn't understand love back then. But I didn't have a connection with you, so I never spoke to you about certain things. Yeah.
It's weird because you hold that stuff to the grave. There's certain things that you can't explain to no one else. And maybe to your brothers more so. So that's why you have that bond that is so sacred with your friends, because you share things that you can't share with anyone else.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's why it is a family sort of thing. Like, that's why you do have that. And obviously people say, back in the day it was labelled as a gang, but that's why you have a group of friends that had a similar mindset. Like, we're all in the same boat.
No. Did you even call it a gang?
TZ, Terror Zone was a gang.
But did you? Because obviously, remember around that time, 2005, 2006. That's when the whole gang terminology became big, innit?
No, it was just before that because I swear it was like 2006 is when the madness happened. I think it was around then. So it was like 2003, like just like our last years in school, like year 10, year 11, like the first couple of years of college, and then that's when shit changed. You know what I mean? That's when shit got a bit heavy.
Yeah, and the thing is, even with the gang thing, to be honest, like I said, it didn't start. It wasn't a violent thing. Everybody just wanted to earn their money. And then just having fun. Like we used to have a lot of fun. We had a girl crew with us.
Yeah,
like
ladies.
I was in a long term relationship.
Pink ladies them days.
There was a lot of them. Like you had other girls from different schools, but it was like Mitcham was the place everybody came to. Like when the McDonald's was there. Rest in peace to McDonald's because
that was the hub.
That was the hub for everybody. Every area used to come to that place. There.
Every area.
And it was
before the separations, before all the drama, all the passa. Mitcham was the spot to be. Like,
Mitcham Funfair.
Yeah, Mitcham Funfair was an annual edition.
That place there.
Annual edition, banging machine, lineups. Everyone's testing it.
Yeah.
That's man. We
bumper cars.
testing
exactly.
it. Yeah, bumper cars. Yeah, the big scuffs on the green. Like you had to be there to be there.
Even that with Mitcham, and when it all, like I said, when I had my responsibilities and I started disengaging myself from certain people, and I understood, because I learned from a lot of my friends. I wasn't the person that was going to learn from my own mistakes because I see the downfall of everything. Like a lot of people are doing certain things, you go jail for it. I was a person I didn't like to be controlled. Never have liked to be controlled. So I knew that if it's not for me, I know I can get in my position of somebody locking the door behind me, telling me when I can bloody shit and bloody go play snooker, and I'm not really interested in it. So for me personally, because my closest friend got a long-term sentence, for me it was just like no. So for me personally, I started to obviously work. I had a mentor, which was close friends with a good friend of mine who obviously they put onto me because they're like, listen, like he wants to change. So he was a good man. Big up my brother and Jason.
Shout out Jason.
Big up Jason, young man. Good guy.
I feel like that's where you got a bit of your fashion sense from
course,
as well, because he's a swaggy guy.
You don't dress similar, scarves and that. Is it a cravat?
No, cravat's all that. I bring it live, mate. Bring it live, step in the opera now, you get me? You see it? But when I got my mentor, I think he taught me a lot of stuff that nobody weren't teaching me that. Like what he taught me, because he came in my life and he was like, you know what, I see what you're like, you're similar to me. Like I wasn't a rude boy, but we know how it gets sometimes. And to be honest, I was never a rude boy. I was never a rude boy.
You were always respectful.
I was a very respectful.
And the thing is, see, that's what people get confused. You see, that's why, like, see mob bosses or what they see all these people that are high figures. They are respectful.
You can put them in respect families.
Respect families. They know how to talk to people. They can switch their tone to different people. That is a real boss. Real bosses really, truly don't get their hands dirty.
They're very wise.
Yeah, they're very wise. They know how to play their cards, so they don't have to do much.
100%. I learned early because obviously when Jay come into my life, he taught me upon the ropes. Yeah. So to be honest, he taught me a lot of stuff: how to present yourself, how to talk in certain situations, and he was probably the first person that brought me into a corporate like surrounding. So I started to do like work with him around youths. So so that's how I got to working with youths. Because obviously I had a message to tell to them, and I knew that where I come from, people can change, and it's the best thing to change, because what we've been taught, we've all been misled in certain ways. Even if it's by social media, because social media came into it then. Not as prominent as how it is now, but it comes.
Lee phones. If you had a Lee phone, happy slaps. See all them things there. That's when the world started changing.
Yeah.
Like that was mad, and I think see us man as we can sit here as elders, because I think like, a lot of us are like 88s, 89s, and 90s, and all that sort of generation. We are like the generation that are special because we saw it from the beginning, the middle, and like it's gonna grow. Obviously, there's no end right now, but we saw it before that. Imagine being in school where you could. If we could message in school like WhatsApp and be like, yeah, I'm such a bum.
It'd be different.
Different. Things would have been a lot more intensified as what it is now, because you can organise a lot more. Things were different because you couldn't have the access to it.
And you could disrespect a whole lot more.
Yeah, 100%.
Take it to a next level, do you know what I mean?
Like this whole naming and shaming thing, I think it's got outrageous. I'm not going to get there because it's heavy. Like we'll do a whole episode on that, because all this like stabbing, killing someone and then glorifying it is fucking outrageous. That is mad.
And especially when your friend goes to jail, gets life, and then you're still acting like it was a good thing.
Yeah, free.
him.
Don't you feel that? Don't you think that you've
Sometimes
also done something?
it's time to say no to that. Like I think it's time to say, instead of saying free him, like why did you let him do that?
Exactly, yeah.
Like why would you guide your friend to do that? Like it's got to that point. Like man, as I said, people celebrate you coming out of jail more than they celebrate you getting a new job, bro.
100%.
Like I'll get more people outside the gate than me getting a new job, bro.
It just depends your set of friends though.
And that's it. Your social surroundings is a big thing. It's a key.
And was that a lot for your growth though?
100%,
And was your
you know-
no, but see, changing your social surroundings, yeah, did that make you leave some people behind? And were they resentful because of that?
Do you know what? I've not left anybody behind because I feel that everybody has kind of changed with me in a certain way. Because I think it took not to say anybody followed, but I think it took me for people to think, you know what's going on here? Like, why is he so normal still after everything? So. And plus, a lot of people started having kids after as well, so certain people fell into that responsibility as well. So I think as we got older, not saying that I changed anything, but I think everybody started gradually changing because, not saying everybody fully did because they didn't. Even some people are now still doing the same certain things.
But some people leave their life behind.
Exactly. Some people thought, you know what, okay, I need to start fixing up in a certain way. So I might do something different. I might go get a job and so forth. Like obviously, I've got friends from all different walks of life now, just simply because of the surroundings that I put myself in. But not to say that I've left anybody. I've not said that, you know what, I'm cutting you off. You're not. Because what I'd rather do is share my knowledge and uplift you as well. So you get yourself in a position. Because I still care about my friends. And my
bring them in a
people
position where they can
exactly.
learn something new.
And obviously I like to speak in it. So me, I'm a talker. So I'll talk to people. Like if I know that it's going to mean them well, I will talk to you about certain things, and hopefully you get some sort of information that's obviously beneficial for yourself. But not to say that I left anybody. I just disengaged myself in a certain way. So I started putting myself in different positions, built my business. So after I left working in the council, me and a couple friends built my company, Unique Talent. So we basically work with young people who come from disadvantaged backgrounds, high risk, similar to where I come from. And obviously, I'm like a mentor. I don't like to say I'm a mentor, but I'm just like a person who can
share your story,
share my story, give you some information, re-educate you.
Yeah, understand that there's a different option. I don't think people realize that there's a different option. I think the road is very one-dimensional in a sense where, bro, you can easily get caught up in it and not see anything else but that until the day that you die.
Come on, it's ridiculous.
And it's very easy to do that. Like you can be with the man them every single day of your life, and it's so mad. Like, and I understand it because it's very. And the thing is, it'll always be there. You can be anywhere in the work. Like you can leave a job, come out of jail, do whatever you want to do, and come back to your hood and meet someone that was there. Even if it's like a younger coming up, like you might see one of your brethren's son on the block. If you're one of those guys that have nothing else going for you, you're going to be the guy that's on the block with them.
100%. And people don't realise that.
Obviously, you're going to be sharing knowledge at the same time, and you're not going to realise that you're there, but you're there.
No, of course they realise they're there, but they can't do nothing about it because it's gone so long where they're just
No,
stuck.
but they can do something about it.
Of course they can, but they think.
Yeah, they think they can. That's what
It's
it's
always an
mindset.
option, and I think, going back to what Kaly said, like being around people that can share that knowledge and you make you experience different walks of life, bro. Like being able to accept it. Like you was able to accept it, because if you was ignorant, and you probably would have still been banging. Like, you know what I mean? You could, and it could have been easily that way. You could have easily been led into like, take a brick and start flipping
And
it.
it's easy, cause a lot, you know how the respect is in the town. A lot of people approach me like that. I'm just like, bro, that don't mean anything to me. The money is not even a thing.
Boom. Let me take 5, build up a zoo and that. But before we get to there, hold that Uncle Winston's.
Uncle
Rum
Winston's.
Punch. Wait, Guinness Punch. Rum
Youngs,
Punch.
thank you very much for these.
See, if you see pimentos eating a thing, you know it's the proper thing. Yeah, you know.
Follow him on Instagram. It's Uncle Winston's with an underscore at the end.
Big up.
Because they
Dunlop.
don't just do the Guinness punches.
Well,
they
they
do
do food as well.
Yeah.
What, lit food as well.
Lit food.
Big up yourself.
Lit food.
Alright, back into the episode, my brother.
Welcome back. And for the people that are locking in, this one's for you.
This is for the barbershop. Yeah.
That touched me differently. Alright, cool. Let's carry on anyway. So, I want to touch your Unique Talent company that you've got. How did you actually get into it? Like, what made you think, I want to work with the youths? Because I've seen you've actually gone into jail to work with some young offenders as well. So how did you get into that? Like, have you done that before?
I had experience from working with the council where my mentor brought me on board with him to work alongside him, and he just kind of trained me up. But where I actually got the kind of thoughts into building my own company is that when everything was going on, when the time was actually prominent in the area with a lot of like gang crimes and stuff, yeah, obviously the area started to have problems with themselves. And without mentioning any names, like there was 2 areas in Mitcham that had problems, like deep problems as well, like very deep problems. And obviously, I'm very sociable. I know everybody. Like you know how Mitcham was always a place that everybody knew everybody. There was no in-house problems.
You know what it is? It's like, you know when bosses talk, you know when you gotta call up the boss. They had to have a little talk about it, like, you know what I mean?
There was in-house problems previously, but it was all dead by then.
There was never really. That was the main one. There was never really. There was probably little disputes, but not nothing really serious. Yeah. But obviously, like Rain said, I get calls now, I'm thinking, what's going on? And obviously, I've been told that so and so's come to so and so's house, and this has been happening, that's been happening, and whatever. So I'm like, this is a joke. Even though I was away from it at that moment of time, I'm working now. Don't forget. So I'm actually working for the council, and what happens is this problem gets escalated to a next level, and obviously people are still calling me like, please, like resolve it, and you know, like, and obviously me understanding this and working with young people, obviously I felt like it's my duty to go in, step in there, knowing both of them, and say, you know what, this doesn't make any sense, especially because it's in-house. Like we're so close to each other, like don't disrupt the kind of like the of Mitcham. Like that's not how Mitcham is. Like do you understand? I know certain other areas flex like that and operate like that, but this is not us. Like it's never been like that.
It's such a small
area as well. So it's a village, isn't it? So it's like everything's all close. So so I got involved. And big up my brother, big up my brother Mark as well, because he got involved as well. Because obviously I was close with both sides, but he was close with more of one side. I was the only person close with the other side, so we thought, you know what, let's do a mediation. Like you get them guys there, I'll get the other guys. We'll try and resolve it. So I remember we done a big mediation. There was like about 60 people there. Like brought everybody there. Everybody come. You lot talk about it. So me and Mark are there, like talking about it. And
was it hard to kind of, because obviously I know how people are, because some people want to argue, but you're trying to.
But at that time, because me and my bro are so, we're heavy. Like even though we're change men, but we're like it don't cancel out the respect. Yeah. So right now nothing's gonna happen. There's not gonna be no disrespect. You've come in for a reason. You've come because I've told you to come. You've come because he told you to come. So therefore you're respecting our wishes. So everybody's coming. It was humble. So I remember that day like it was yesterday. Everybody shook hands and we went about our business, but. What happened was someone kind of like done a little sly thing while the thing was going on and posted it, like all this social media stuff, and it escalated again. And then what happened was, because it escalated so heavy, I was now getting calls and conversations from my superiors, not on road, but in work. And saying, Rob, what's going on? I heard you done it, like, rare, like, what's going on? Wanting information. I'm like, I'm not into this stuff. Like, this is not my problem. Why am I, like, it's me? So I thought, you know what, I'm done with this. Like, I'm not even getting involved again. So I told the people.
So you left it?
I left the situation. I said, I'm not getting involved again. Like, you lot are grown men. You lot deal with it.
And what was your reason? Because
I felt like it was pressure on me.
Too much.
I feel like it was too much pressure on me. Because I was still getting calls from people saying, resolve it. Like, it's gone off again. So everybody's still coming to me from that way. People are coming to me from that way. And I'm like, bro, I'm so tied up with my family right now. I'm a single parent. I just want to just be relaxed. I'm not doing it for this. So I left it. And you know what I'll say now that if I can go back, I wouldn't have left it. Because what happened after that is that it got out of hand and someone that I know ended up killing someone that I knew. A friend killed a friend. And for me personally, that was the point where I thought to myself, you know what, this is actually ridiculous. Like, now I understand why, like working with people and not giving up is so, it's a need. Because not that I blame myself for it, but I believe that if I kept on trying, that I could have probably got through to people again. Do you know what I mean? But because I left it, maybe they're just like, you know what, no one ain't worrying us about. Let's just do what we want to do, and you know what it is like it's so sad to understand what happened in that day because you're still in the middle of it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like still, everybody from Mitcham knew both sides. Sure. So nobody gained nothing.
Especially if you was proper Mitcham, because we went to school, everyone.
Both went to school, both of them.
You know what I mean? Like,
so for me personally, you know what I mean? We went to school with both of them. So for me, that was an eye opener to say, you know what? And at that time, I was thinking, you know what? I don't want to have to, not even make the choice, but I don't want to have the pressure from other people. So that's where unique talent comes from, because we can work for people. Because don't get me wrong, the council are good and everything, but we are the people on the we're on the ground. So why not have our own thing? So me and my business partners came up with a plan, and you know, like in 2015, was like, you know what, like boom, like it needs to be done.
Is that how long it's been going for? Is that how long it's been
Well, that's when the idea was, but we proper went in, like, I forgot what year it was, but that's when the kind of ideas come from. But then when I was like, you know, I need to leave and just do my own thing, is when that happened. So that's when I started working with kids and young people and vulnerable people and at-risk people. So yeah,
and that's going well for you right now, isn't it?
It's going very well.
Do you feel like you're reaching through to some of the kids?
100%. Like I work with so many kids. I had a young person not too long ago where he went to jail, and he had cases before he started working with me. But obviously, when I started working with him, he started making a transition. So all like this, the social workers and that saying, "No, thank you for the good work." So he went to jail for something previous that before he started working.
Is that
with me.
the one you was visiting in Feltham?
In Feltham, no, not even him, to be honest. I visited someone else in Feltham, but he went to, I forgot what prison he went to. But he went there, and also I wrote a letter saying that this guy is on the path of transition. So it wouldn't make sense him staying in jail and that being all taken away from him, because you don't know the impact of this. So my letter kind of resonated with them. They let him out, and since then he's been like proper good. But this is the case for a lot of people. I write a lot of letters, and I only write. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a person who just writes it because I feel if I know it's going to benefit you and I know I can make a change, I will help you out. So a lot of the young people there, I will do that for. Quick
question. Do you think prison rehabilitates people?
I've never been to prison.
No, but like from seeing it from the outside, seeing what it can do to the youth, do you think it can change people?
It depends. I think it depends. It depends who people are and what they want of life. Like I said, my friend went to prison for however long, over 12 years, came back, and he is totally reformed. Businessman to the high. Even when I talk to him, don't get me wrong, I talk in a certain way that people think, "Wow, this guy is." But when I talk to him, I'm like, "Yo,
yeah, you're on stuff.
You're on stuff." He graduated in there. Yeah, he's doing his masters now.
That's it.
I've not even been to uni. Not saying that it's a good thing or bad thing, but that's just his path. Like he's fully changed. When he was in jail, and people are seeing him and they're thinking, "Right, you fell off." I was speaking to saying, "Bro, don't let anybody tell you what you've done, bro. Stay away from them people there. They're not going to benefit you. You go on your own path." Now, when they see you on the top and you're in the parliament and that with Michael B. Jordan and all them people there, and you're doing certain things, bro, listen, they'll watch you same way. So don't get me wrong.
So to wrap this up in short, so Kaly, like to summarize, like the change, like for you, what can you say to someone else that's in that situation that wants to get out what they're in? Because I think a lot of people don't realize that there is another option. So what can you, to summarize your story and to show the light on what you've done and created? I think because it's very positive. Like it's completely.
You've really lived it.
Yeah,
like, it's not
played out. It's really been in too deep.
Maybe we haven't. It got into mad detail, but
there was no deal in that. We can't even go into certain details.
We just skim the surface.
Yeah.
So just summarize.
What I would say is that young people need to look into the future and realize or figure out who they actually want to be, and look deeply into it, because whatever you're doing, there has to be some sort of benefit from it. So if you know what you're doing and you see, okay, that I want to do this, there's a benefit from it. What is the benefit? What's the balance in it? What overweighs the other one? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think for a lot of young people, we do things so rash. Like we don't even think about certain things. Like certain people will say, young people, like I said, I wanted to be a rich guy. Was I really looking at rich people? No, I was looking at road people. They're nowhere near rich. If I was looking at rich people, I'd look at business owners. So now that was the education now. So my job now is that we didn't have the education, so now I can at least give you the education. So it's re-education. Okay, if you want to be a billionaire, look at the man that owns LVMH. Like we're talking about over 400 billion. Like you really want to do it, or you want to get a chain and a watch. Like there's differences. So
there's outside the box.
Exactly. So now, because my mind saying just changed to this, I'm looking at different people. I'm surrounding myself around different people. Not saying that I'm cancelled, because I'll still hang around my same friends, same way.
So the bottom line is step out of your comfort zone. Like that is the way to grow. Step out of the comfort zone. Like
If you think you can't do it, you can do it, my brothers. Like, there's no joke, fam. Just.
But yeah, no, like you said, like even your friends now. Like, do you want to talk about what they're doing now and how they're doing with their?
Yeah, like all my friends are doing something positive. Like that's the reason why I keep good people around me because, like I said earlier, everybody changed. Don't matter what. I knew everybody would definitely make the change. Depends what time they'll make it. So even like when we was doing our thing, like, there was a lot of people who own their businesses. Like me, my first business, to be honest, was starting up a record label with one of my good friends, Els. Like not a record label, sorry, a studio. And
Plush House,
big up the Plush House, big up my brother Beans as well. Yeah, and LA. Obviously, I stepped away from it because I wanted to get into property and other stuff. So that was more me. Like, do you know what I mean? Even though I was an artist at the time, that was more me. And I'm loving it. Like the change that I've taken into property investment and trading and other stuff there. That was proper me. I didn't really want to be. I was always a person that was always on the forefront. Always at the front of everything. So me going into music.
And see, did you really want to do music though?
Do you know it's funny? I still make music, but I never wanted to be the person making.
You just did it for you. You just did it for you.
For you, exactly.
You just did it for you.
And that's why I would have never have won in that game because everything that I've done in.
Why are you laughing, bro?
No, because the way you're saying you do it for you, like, did you enjoy it?
Did you enjoy it?
What? It's the way he dropped it. No, I asked you first. Kaly knows. One of my favourite tunes of Kaly's is "Beautiful Minds." He don't even remember it.
I don't remember.
But that tune was he's got some classics.
I made a lot of music, but you know what? You know it is.
I said it was for you, my brother.
No. If I made music, I would have probably been one of the best and out there people. But because my mindset, I don't conform to any. So I'm too reckless. So I couldn't have lasted that industry. That's why I stopped it. And I was like, you know what? Let's make a decision here. And plus, even with music, what I was gonna say, just quickly, so we can wrap it up here, is that the era this music's going into, I didn't want to be a part of it. Yeah, I didn't want to be a part of it because all of this stuff that I was doing in my music videos, girls and stuff and all this stuff there, what I'm influencing the young people to do, I've got a daughter, so how can I be teaching my daughter one thing, saying don't do certain things, but you're seeing me in the music video, bare girls and interacting with them in a certain way, now you're going to think, okay, my dad's doing it, it's okay to do that. Yeah. It's not going to make any sense. So I had to make that decision and say, you know what, even if I am going to try, I have to try from a point where I have to show you different, rather than I'm going to tell you something, but I'm still doing something else. It doesn't make any sense. So that's why I kind of moved away from it.
Nah, big up Cal, man, every single time. That's with the
Right, see that one there?
Brothers.
Listen, big
Go back like car seats, my brother.
the transition sick. Yeah, the transition sick.
All the way back.
Thank you for locking in. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing. Listen, like I said before, it takes about 3 minutes to create a YouTube account and subscribe to the channel. Yes. It means a lot. And for those of you that are watching a video and not liking, just click the like button. That don't even take a second. It takes about half a second. Just like the video. The more likes we get, the more subscribers we get, the more content we put out for you.
The more love you get.
Yeah.
Every time.
Big up our guy Kaly today for coming down.
Yeah.
Hold tight the people in there, hold tight the barbershop,
hold
tight the Friday nighters, hold tight the 5 a.m. creatives, hold tight the family, Jeffers, hold tight Lockie in the building, hold tight my Bradgen Sticks, the Ginger Ninja in the place.
Also, I just want to say, if you haven't listened to Drake's album, listen to it. But yeah, peace.
And boom, Lane's Catering. Hold tight Lane's Fusion for the fucking banging food.
Oh, mate.
Patting us up every episode. See Jollof last week, you see the sweet special fried rice this week. Very nice.
Yeah. Bye, guys. Guys, if you want to get your podcast out on Spotify and Apple Music like we have, just sign up to Anchor FM. Just type that in on your internet search engine and it'll come up. It's got all the information there on how to get your podcast out. Ain't that right, Hiccup?
Yeah, that is. Shit, nigga, name.